I don't think I could ever live in a home with white walls. I hearken back to the white walls of my grandmother's hospital room, the same white walls closed in my grandfather's hospital room every time he ran a bad fever, and finally the hospital walls I found myself looking at through tear-blurred eyes 2 months after I started college. The white bandages they wrapped around my arms, wrist, and thumb made me match the scene and feel like something between a mummy and a voodoo doll. On a Sunday in October 2015, I went into anaphylactic shock and found myself shivering in an emergency room without an idea of what was happening. A violent red fire started in my stomach, creeped down my scalp, and singed the tips of my fingers. My ears swelled to twice their size. By the time the triage nurse came back, the fire gave way to ice, and I was shivering so hard it shook the hospital bed. She saw my toes tinged blue beneath the blanket and ran to find the doctor. I'd gone into shock. I became a mess of needles in whatever veins they could tap, took blood, delivered epinephrine, and filed fluids into my constricted veins. I remember sobbing, wishing my friends were there, wishing my mom was there, and wishing I was anywhere else. After a moment, I realized something beyond my own discomfort. I was not the first person to be trapped in the ER, utterly alone, and I certainly wasn't going to be the last. My suffering evaporated into a hot steam of frustration. So many people with preventable conditions, chronic disease, and injuries lived in this reality. I was one of the lucky ones. I would eventually leave behind the white walls. Over the next few years, I landed myself in the hospital more than I would have liked to. Doctors whispered terms like lupus and cancer, looking for a terrifying explanation to something painfully simple. It turned out that I was deathly allergic to a commonly used yellow azo dye. While it is banned in many countries globally, the FDA currently has no laws or restrictions surrounding its use. As I continued my health science studies, I could not forget the sorrow I felt in the hospital for others entering the healthcare system while already suffering. Soon, I discovered public health in my elective courses, and it was love at first statistic. Public health has been an avenue for empowering myself and empowering others. My vocation now is to do the best I can to keep people out from under the fluorescent lights and under the blue sky instead.